Yo guys, what's going on, man? It's your boy George. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down Enzo Maresca's tactics, but with a little twist. Now what I've decided to do is break down his tactics in stages. So as you can see on the right hand side, there's different formations for each structure. So there's a pressing structure, there's a formation for that, there's a formation for the rest defense, there's also a formation for when Chelsea drop deep into their 4-4-2, which I am going to break down later on in this vid. But first, let's talk about Chelsea's rest defense. I've gone with the 4-1-4-1, similar to a 4-5-1. This is the best I can find, to be honest, people, because this year, so limited when it comes to the tactics, man. It's unbelievable. So we have to make do with what we have. And yeah, so this is a structure that we have here. It's hard to replicate Gusto's role. As you can see, he's a false back, but unfortunately, I can't get him into that 10 role that he plays in real life, alongside Cole Palmer, who's on the left recently anyway for Chelsea. So you just have to make do with Gusto playing as a false back balanced. Obviously, Caicedo and Lavia not playing as the two, but in the game, both players seem to form a double pivot anyway. Obviously, Neto for me is more of the offensive winger, likes to get in behind. Of course, he can stand up a fullback, but his main attribute for me is when he makes them runs in behind. Madueke is more of a ball to feet type of player, similar to a Saka, like some 1v1 duels. And also one thing to mention as well is in possession, it will be a back three. Cucurella tucks in, Cole as a deep line playmaker, CB you could say, and Fofana on that right hand side, forming that three. Now we move on to the tactics. Obviously, we all know that Enzo Maresca is a possession-based manager. Chelsea like the ball. They like to build out from the back, force the opposition to press them, bait them into pressing, which means that there's space in behind for the likes of Jackson, your Pedro Netos, your Madueke to get in behind. So this is why it's not on short passing. Keep that on balance. I don't want to do counter. We're not prime Mourinho, but at the same time, you want to be very quick on the transition. You still want runners. So that's why I've got on balance. Now we move on to the pressing structure. Now, this is important, people, because if you want to play like Enzo Maresca, then you can't defend in a 4-5-1. In order for you to get that pressing structure correct, then it's 4-1-4-1 is what I've noticed when Chelsea play. It's either Lavia or Caicedo pushing up to help the likes of Palmer and Jackson back up that press. And you've also got Caicedo in there sweeping in between the lines as that cover. That's how they press Chelsea. And the way you apply this in the game, people, is when the opposition has a goal kick, that's when you go onto your D-pad and switch to this tactic. And then as soon as you win the ball back, you're in settled possession, you go back to your original default formation, which is the 4-5-1 that we just broke down. No tactics, no player roles here. All you need to do, people, is set, obviously, the defensive line or defensive approach on 90, very high. And once you win the ball back, you want it to be on counter because you want runners. Once you win the ball back in dangerous areas, you need runners. So that's a healthier counter attack right there, people. So tactics 2, that's how you set it, people, for the pressing anyway. So Chelsea defend in a 4-4-2. Normally you see this structure when they're defending in their own half, maybe holding a lead, and they're just soaking that pressure. So we've gone with this. Palmer and Jackson would actually be the front men, and then obviously the two banks of 4. So the only thing you need to do for the player roles here, guys, is wide midfielder and defend. And what you do with the defend is they help you to come back and support your fullbacks out of possession. So that's very important. Moving on to the tactics, counter again once you win the ball back, quick transitions, and balanced approach. You don't want to be too high, you don't want to be low. It's like a mid block almost. And yeah, that is pretty much it, guys, when it comes to the defensive structure. And how you apply this is obviously if you're playing against someone that's patient, or let's say, for example, you just defended in your own half, you need to hold a lead or something, then this is when you switch to the 4-4-2. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you like it, subscribe. More videos coming. Take care, guys.